Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. Announcements for episode 10. We've got a quick little rogue rad recap by the time this posts. We should already be done with that. We should be done with that. Both the challenge online and obviously our gym should be done with that already. I saw that there was a couple of RXs so far.
Look at Moses leading the pack so
Look
far.
at that. Although I do think
it is only the morning
that he finished at 205 on the last round. So
yeah.
That's a slightly different weight than the RX, which is fine. That was kind of the point of building to the clean and jerk beforehand. Not also sure how we did a team of 3 with some of these, but hopefully the goal was fun and inclusivity. So I hope you guys had fun with that little nasty workout, and I hope it was a good time. Don't forget, if you want to enter your scores, you can. I believe by the time this releases, you'll have like 6 more hours to put it in there, which is wholly fine. But you are eligible for prizes whether or not you win anything. So it's not like you had to have the best, like the top workout. They were doing like random selected prizes as well.
Telling me there's a chance.
There was always a chance, yeah. I mean, you and me still have time to do it.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I know I saw you clean like 265. You'll be fine up until through 25, right?
Sure.
Yeah, right after this. All right. Anyway, on top of that, the sweatshirt order is on the desk. We have an X4 and an Ariak sweater, right? Maybe Nolan can provide some more details on that.
Yeah, order it. No, I mean, especially if you're in the X4 side, you don't go through the main gym. Remember, you got to go up to the main desk, front desk, the main gym. If you want to order that, put your name on there, put your size on there. Prices are on there as well. I think that includes tax and all that, right?
Yeah, that includes tax. Yep.
Cool.
So make sure you snag one of those before they're gone. I don't think I've really put a deadline on it yet, but I'm not going to leave them up there forever. So yeah. I will eventually put a deadline on it, probably sometime around the Christmas mark, so that we have them for the really cold season coming in January.
And we'll probably order some extras, but not like a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you want one, make sure that you order it, because otherwise you may not have it in your size.
Yep. I mean, like for reference, I usually order like one extra of each size as our extras. So,
so not much.
Not much. And then we have a holiday party update.
It's going to be a brunch now. Who doesn't like brunch?
I love brunch.
Well, I'm white, so of course I love brunch.
Obviously. we've got brunch now, so that kind of plays into the ugly sweater and costume theme idea that we've kind of got going on. So it's very similar to the Halloween party. Whoever shows up to work out either at the 9 a.m. class or just shows up for the party, that'll be directly afterward. Whoever shows up the ugliest for an ugly sweater or costume theme. I was gonna say more words, but I feel like it was...
I was like, I probably shouldn't.
Whoever shows up the ugliest will win a $100 LSKD gift card, just like we did for the Halloween party. And then I figured that we would kind of run down at least the beginning of the upcoming holiday schedule, since we are now officially in the teens of December instead of just the beginning of December.
Yeah,
we're
coming up on it.
Coming up on Christmas. So, I mean, it's 12 days, 13 days away at this exact moment. So
yeah, so coming up on the 24th. Looking at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. classes only. 25th and 26th going to be closed. So keep that in mind. Adjust your schedule accordingly. Of course, open gym is always available, but again, enjoy your time off.
Yeah.
You don't have to come into the gym.
Yeah. And don't forget, 8 a.m. is X4 and 9 a.m. is CrossFit, just so that we all are on the same page there. I believe both of them will be myself once again. I will have the 24th and the 27th when we get back, because the 27th will go back to a full, our normal schedule or whatever. But I believe that you will still be on vacation.
Yep.
So I will have the 24th and the 27th, as long as the baby doesn't come.
Yeah.
Then it'll be a different story. So we'll see.
We're kind of get Coach Greg.
We're kind of in a big limbo stage currently, boys and girls. We are figuring it out as you know it.
That's life.
Yep, that is life.
Yeah.
All right, so for you guys, the 24th, 8 a.m. is X4, 9 a.m. is CrossFit, and then we are closed the 25th and the 26th, and we are back to a normal schedule on the 27th. We will go over the New Year's schedule as we get closer. With that, let's jump into some programming.
All right. Monday, we're looking at some deadlifts and some high round volume.
Yeah, deadlifts. We're looking at like some heavy. It's like 20 rounds, so it's like 2 deadlifts,
That's not that high.
3 handstand push-ups, and 4 toes to bar. So we've got
Easy.
a heavy deadlift because I believe the RX weights are 275, 185 for the workout, followed by some pretty nasty high skill gymnastics work. And that's just a workout day. So we have no strength prior to that because 20 rounds of that is going to take us quite a bit. So that's a-okay, but we're going to plan accordingly for that.
Nice. Then Tuesday, little shouldered overhead complex. I feel like we just did something like that. He's kind of working down a progression of that. Right?
Yeah, push press and push jerk that week.
Yeah,
so
push
instead
dress.
of
Push,
what?
Push,
What?
Push dress.
Push dress.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
better than what I thought.
It's a new one. What did you think I said?
I can't say it. We're a professional podcast.
Oh.
So it'll be push press and push jerk this week. Last week we saw push jerk split jerk.
Yeah,
this week is just
what I was thinking.
working on more of the explosiveness.
And Wednesday coming up, we're working on muscle up. It's going to be a muscle up skill day, so that'll be helpful where it's coming down the week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly my thought as well. Well, we've got a bit of a muscle up work going on throughout the week. So Wednesday will be your skill day to work on your ring muscle ups.
Yeah, which will be helpful for Friday. But before that, Thursday, we're looking at a very grip heavy day on Thursday. What's coming up on Thursday?
Yeah, we've got our usual like long workout for quality.
Yeah.
Or at least that style of work. There is a 400-meter double kettlebell carry, followed by double unders, an empty bar hang, and I guess empty bar hang, a pull-up bar hang,
Yeah.
And then a long bike and some sit-ups and some plank holds. So kind of our longer accessory feel good day back to normal on Thursday.
I'll tell you, hanging from that bar feels good.
Yeah, I agree. My lower back always feels better after a good hang.
Then coming up on Friday, we got Amanda working on our snatch before building up that snatch, really, before we get into that. Hopefully, got in some muscle up practice before that because it's 975 of muscle ups and snatches.
Yeah.
RX is those rings, isn't it?
RX is those rings. RX, for those that know, the typical CrossFit standard for Amanda is ring muscle ups and then squat snatch at 135.95. Hence why there is no descriptor before each of them, because back in the old days of CrossFit, muscle ups were just ring muscle ups that had to be specified if you wanted to do bar muscle ups. And then snatches, once again, it has to be specified if they want you to hang, if they want you to power, if they want you to do any sort of thing like that, it's specified. So that means that no specification has always and will always mean that it's a squat snatch is the RX. So
it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. What's your Amanda time, bud?
Ooh, I would love to find out.
I
was going to say, since you asked, what's your Amanda time?
Amanda has been a similar bane of existence over the course of my CrossFit career. It was one of the first like named girl workouts that I tried because I was like, oh, it's only 975. Like that's easy peasy. And then it took me like 12 minutes. So
wow, there you go. That's actually my time, 12:11. What's the time cap for this one? 12.
Look at that. He's got a PR if he wants to finish. It is meant to be on the sprintier side, but it's obviously a very high skill workout. I think at this point my PR is somewhere in the 5s, I want to say.
Yeah, it's one of those things, unless you're proficient in both movements, and especially at that weight, you kind of got to be very intentional with each rep. Make sure that we don't have any misses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good one to give a shot next week. I haven't done a class workout in a hot minute. Maybe that'll be a nice little easy warm up for me. You know what I'm talking about? No, just being a dick. 975 muscle ups and snatches. A good score on Amanda is typically like around the 7 to 8 minute mark. an elite score in Amanda is like a 4 to 5 minute mark. And then, like Nolan said, the time cap is 12 minutes because it is meant to be on the quicker side. It is not meant to be something that takes us 20 to 30 minutes to get done, even though it is such high skill. It's meant to be something that we are able to continuously move through with efficiency. So it really does depend on your proficiency with both ring muscle ups and the squat snatch, which obviously we're squat snatching prior to Amanda, and then we're doing muscle up skills earlier in the week on Wednesday. So if you want to work on your ring muscle ups or learn proficiency before we tackle an important workout like Amanda, it's a good idea to come on Wednesday and ask the coach to either evaluate your form or help, like ask what they think that you need help with. I believe you coach in the afternoon on Wednesdays, and
That's
you coach
Friday.
in the morning. Oh, I'm talking about on Wednesday for.
Oh right, yeah. No, I do the mornings and the evenings.
Look at
So
this
you
guy.
got me all day.
Look at this guy. It's always Coach Nolan.
Yep.
All right.
On Saturday, got your partner workout again. Another grip focus, grip heavy workout.
Kind of building on our Thursday workout, we've got double dumbbell box step ups and then box jumps. So the focus being that middle section of 80 dumbbell farmers box step ups. It's a movement that we've seen in quarterfinals, and specifically for quarterfinals when there was the 25%. So, because I would argue.
Did they bring that back this year?
Yes, that's back this year. I would argue that when quarterfinals was the top 10%, that it was harder workouts, because I remember the pistol rope climb
probably
GHD.
intentional.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pistol rope climb GHD workout from the first year of quarterfinals being extremely difficult. In any case, what I'm getting at here is it's a movement that we will see most likely advancing at some point in the open. If we've seen it in quarterfinals before, it could mean that it could show up in the open. It could also mean that we see it again in quarterfinals. So I strongly recommend getting after those.
Yep. And then to finish this off on Sunday, we're looking at some bench press. Everybody's favorite.
Everybody's favorite. Nice, heavy, double.
Yep. Then what do we got to finish?
And
Nice
then
light little finisher.
A light finisher of bear crawls and burpees and knees to elbow and some other stuff that we don't normally tackle, but the bench press is meant to be the meat and potatoes of that.
Yep.
Yeah, the heavy bench press 2 rep. We're building to it. I have it set up that it logs to your benchmark, so we should be good to go there. Bench press on Sunday. International
trying to make
chest
me
day.
work out on a Sunday.
Yeah, right. Unbelievable.
All right.
Alrighty. Next up, or the purpose of the podcast, we've got our holiday nutrition guide.
Yep. So trying to maintain a healthy balance during the, what do you call it? The sweets season?
I did the sweets season.
There is a lot.
I mean, yeah, we've been invited to like 3 cookie exchanges, and it's the sweets season. It just is what it is. That's
wild.
Yeah.
What is it like to have friends? Just kidding. But really,
I'm just not even going to answer.
No, so today we're just giving like little tips and tricks, things that you can do, because there's food everywhere. Lots of parties, lots of dinners, lots of things going on this time of year.
100%.
So what can you do, right? I don't know how you want to approach it. You want to do like you do one, I do one, or we go like just go through a list or see what.
My goal was to get you mostly talking about it.
Okay.
So not like, because I feel like, well, we can go over my strategies first, and then I feel like your strategies are a little bit more based in like science.
Which I mean, they're both probably there.
Yeah, I mean, I have my reasons for why I do the things that I do, I guess, but like my strategy for most parties, and I did this for like Thanksgiving too, because I would technically consider this like a similar season. It's all at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But in any case, my strategy is that I typically will eat my normal breakfast, and then I will skip lunch. I know that I'm going to go to Thanksgiving, and I know that between peer pressure and family and everything else that is obviously going on during that time, and having the availability of a lot of good food, because it's not like it's not food that I don't want to eat, right?
Yeah.
I know that I'm going to eat a lot of calories, so I try to mitigate that with eating less calories earlier in the day. That obviously takes into account nothing having to do with nutrient timing or the quality of the food, or you know what I mean. Like
Right.
it takes nothing into that. All it is for me is I know that I'm going to eat roughly 33 to 3,500 calories a day. My breakfast is typically somewhere between 800 and 1,200, depending on what I get in, and then lunch would, in theory, be another like 12 to 1,400, and then leaving me with, or I'm already at like 2,500, so that leaves me with like 13-ish hundred for dinner. And I know for a fact that I'm going to want to eat more than 1,300 calories either during Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, just because my family is good cooks and
Yeah.
I enjoy their food.
Yeah, and really that's just showing awareness and intentionality on your part. And that's big things that you need. You need to be aware of what's going on. You can't just be oblivious.
Yep.
Like, and then be intentional with what you do with what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the other really simple thing that I try and do too, and somebody was making fun of me the other day because on the old podcast that Greg and I used to do before we were parents, we would talk about like a whole bunch of the stuff and like have all these strategies and like blah 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 blah. And then we both became parents and we're like,
forget the strategy.
yeah, actually,
real life is different.
Life's definitely different. Anyway, so ease of use, or ease of, or what, how do you want to call that? Like convenience is kind of obviously top of mind because I'm trying to make sure that my son has a good holiday as well, obviously, and I want to ensure that the family is having a good time. So it can be tough to like take care of myself and be high maintenance and meal prep myself and bring my own dinner or whatever else that I have done in the past when I didn't have kids. For convenience's sake, I try to stay away from those types of things now. So these are strategies that kind of involve like a little bit more convenience on my part in theory.
Yeah.
So like skipping lunch is an easy thing. I literally just don't eat lunch. And then I typically spend that time packing up my son's stuff anyway. So might as well not eat a snack during that, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, sure.
The other one being that I don't, you guys know that outside of the gym, I'm not really a big drinker as it is. I'm not, super into alcohol or whiskey or really anything like that. I appreciate a good bourbon or a good whiskey sometimes, but it's a pretty rare occurrence. So along those lines, I don't really drink any calories. Like I stay away from eggnog, especially alcoholic eggnog. I don't have any cocktails, anything that's gonna be easy. Like I obviously don't drink any beer. Like
You
anything
don't
that's
drink any pop?
Oh, I don't drink any pop. As I pull out the crisp apple Olipop with, hold on, it says it on here somewhere, 5 total sugars. Could be worse.
How could you?
It's only 40 calories. Come on. And it supports digestive health. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No, I don't drink any pop. I don't drink any mixed drinks. I don't drink really any alcohol. So the goal there being that I don't drink calories. I enjoy food. I enjoy the food that my family cooks, as I've said many times. So I stay away from drinking calories to avoid any extra calories.
No, and that's smart too, because I mean, the way that calories in liquid is very different, ridiculous, from how the calories in food are, right?
Yeah.
Because like sugars, calories, like that type of stuff in liquid is just going to hit your bloodstream like that.
100%. Yep.
So, it's not the same as how food would digest, and it would take much more energy and burn that calories to digest that food, right?
Yep.
But
your metabolism.
right.
Yeah.
So it's very different. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
And really what I want to push out there more is like what you were talking about with awareness, right? Being aware of a lot of these things will help you plan ahead for them. Like you said, for peer pressure, right? That's a big one now these days. Like, grandma made you their special dish, right? And, be heartbroken if you don't have some.
If you don't touch it, yeah.
Right? So you typically know who's going to make what. So kind of plan ahead and maybe even ask them. I mean, you could ask them to make maybe a little bit healthier version of this or that, or maybe be like, hey, I know you make that like really that good ham. Like, could I get extra portions of like your healthy ham or whatever, right? And then they'll be like, oh, you're asking for extra, this, that, and be, or like, oh, you're asking for something special, right? And sometimes we don't want to do that, but then this is typically the time of year where they want to do something nice for you. So that might be a good option. So, just putting out there, planning ahead, or even, figuring out, be like, okay, well, I'm just going to take a small portion, or telling them, I've been changing the way I'm eating. I'm only going to eat this. I'm only going to take a small portion. I'm trying to watch what I take in, right? So that could be one way you deal with peer pressure. Another big thing that comes up this time of year is stress.
Hold on, before we get to that, I have one other thing on peer pressure. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the big things that my wife and I have talked about too is having somebody on your side in that.
Yeah, so
portion.
you're not like alone against the whole front. Everybody
exactly.
else. Yeah,
that used to happen all the time.
Get teamed up on.
Because like I've always been somebody who just eats a lot because I typically I said, like I normally eat like 3,300 to 3,500 calories a day. That's a lot just in general.
Yeah.
So like, and then on top of that, I go to these parties and I eat a lot because I have now skipped lunch and I'm very hungry and I have 2,900 calories to eat. So I want to eat a lot. So, but the thing is, then obviously people got that idea and then tried to like keep pushing like more and more, like, oh, we don't want to take any of this home. Like you can eat it, like keep going.
Take it home with you.
Yeah, or take it with you, or any type of thing like that. And so one of the big things that my wife and I have talked about is just being on the same team and having like somebody who's with me in not necessarily like fighting against the family in that way,
but just like have that
but to like help.
So
yes,
it's not just you.
So it's not just me against everyone else saying that I should eat more.
Right.
But it's nice to have somebody else in the conversation to be like, no, we don't need any more, or like, you know what I mean? Like, so your significant other is extremely important in that situation as well, on those peer pressure type of things, in that at least maybe have a conversation before them or before the party with them about like what your plan is, you know what I mean? So that you guys can be on the same team.
Right. For sure. And that's going to be big. If you can find somebody, sort of team up, that will definitely help combat that peer pressure. Yeah. So moving on, next thing we want to address is stress, right? So being aware that the holidays are stressful times, whether you have a baby coming or not, it's going to be stressful, right?
That was a fake laugh.
A lot of things going on. But with that, your stress hormone, you may have heard of it, it gets bad rep nowadays. Cortisol, right, is probably going to be higher than usual, and that can lead to what people call stress eating. Everybody's heard of stress eating, right?
God, man, I've been so hungry lately.
Yeah, but really, why does it lead to stress eating? Because your body knows that you could get a serotonin hit from some of those extra carbs, some of those cookies, some of that ice cream, some of the extra little pie, right? And it's wanting to balance out. So you get that hit of serotonin, and be like, okay, we're balancing out that cortisol, right? So be aware of that. A good thing to try to do is stick to a daily routine, your exercise, nutrition, stress management practices, whether you're doing like breathing exercise, or if you're going to work out, try to work out earlier in the day, right? Work out before you get into these situations with whether you're in got big dinner planned, right? Or anything else like that. Not after as much, because it's the way that your body wants to store things, right? You want to build up that muscle, and then body's going to want to feed those muscles rather than store it as fat. And it's going to be a lot easier to use that energy or whatever from the nutrients, go and store it into your muscle.
Yeah.
And feed those muscles rather than, try to exercise after and like burn the fat off that was stored already. That's what I was trying to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You have any stress management practices that kind of help you?
Yeah, working out.
Yeah. That's a big one for most of us. I mean, that's a big reason why most of us are here.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like stress, like as Nolan has mentioned, is always a tough topic depending on like who you're talking to, because obviously like stress can affect both your workout performance and like your cortisol levels and how you feel, and there's a lot of different things that happen when cortisol is a little bit too high. So with all that being said, I'm very stressed. The baby is coming. It could be here by the next time you hear this. In any case,
Maybe.
there's always a lot going on during the holidays. So my personal thing is finding quiet time.
Yeah.
Like my wife and I call it the golden hour before when Archer goes to bed, and when we and like before we go to bed, we have like an hour that kind of separates that time. So trying to hang out and reconnect and stuff like that kind of like is the stuff that like actually de-stresses me, because like mental stress and physical stress are both kind of the same thing sometimes when you're looking at it like that. Like sometimes you can work out too hard, and I'm subject to that quite often.
I mean, you can, but typically more often than not, even though you are getting stressed in a workout, it is a good type of stress and usually leads to releasing the endorphins after that will make you feel better. Right. So
I just want for the record to show though that I talked about not working out as much and Nolan talked about working out more. I just, for the record,
gotta have that balance.
Gotta have that balance.
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang
Whether
here.
I'm yin
Okay.
or you're yang, or
yeah, I feel like we're on different
think
sides than
either.
we usually are right now. I'm the one who's like, yeah, quiet time, reconnect with my wife. And Nolan's like, work out!
Well,
Which is fine. It's all up to you. It's how you de-stress, right? So, I mean,
For sure.
like, for me, sometimes I let workouts get to my head a little bit too much. So,
That's
so
fair enough.
the de-stress, what?
That's fair enough.
Yeah. So the de-stress part comes from reconnecting with my wife, having quiet time. You're gonna laugh when I say it, but sometimes playing video games, and like a video game that doesn't involve me playing against other people. So like just like the solo gaming.
That's not
option.
competitive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doing something that's not very specifically not competitive is what actually de-stresses me a little bit in that sense.
And then again, too, that's awareness. That's knowing what works for you, and that's important. You know, building up this awareness and knowing what works for you is going to help you down the road, so that you can just go straight to it.
Yep.
And moving on, I guess something else to be aware of is your sleep, because poor sleep has been shown to lead to overeating. So when it comes time, you know, we have all these parties, cookie exchanges, or whatever you do. All these things you're crazy like going to, like, you know, make sure that you know ahead of time when you want to leave. Like if you want to party, you want to stay up, you know, maybe that night your bedtime is midnight, whatever it is, but just find a way to politely excuse yourself when that time comes. Try not to stay up later than you plan to, right? And so that you can get to bed, get enough sleep, because otherwise it can be a vicious cycle and then like lead to stress eating, lead to all these other things that we're trying to avoid, right? So just keep in mind.
Sleep.
Getting enough sleep.
Getting enough sleep, yes.
Get enough of that vitamin S.
Getting enough sleep. Well, important.
Some of us, that's easier than others.
You mentioned something in there that I really love, and I don't know if you would understand this or not because you don't have a child, but one of the easiest ways to talk about leaving when you want to leave is that your son needs to go to sleep.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Archer's bedtime is 6:30 p.m. and he's looking at me like, no, it's not. It's 7, Dad.
My sister uses that all the time.
So, like, I really gotta go. Sorry, he's gotta go to bed. He's tired. Look at him, he's tired.
It's like, I want to stay up forever.
Yeah, 100%. Is he bouncing off the walls because he had 32 cookies at the cookie exchange?
Yep.
In any case, sleep is an important thing. You should get more than you think that you need. 6 hours is not enough.
It is probably one of the biggest movers of your health.
Yep.
You know, can't say enough about that, but that's a separate podcast about sleep. So
100%. It's quite literally the biggest anabolic steroid.
Yeah, 100%.
It is.
So sleep, make sure you get in enough of it. Find ways to make sure that you can leave when you need to so that you can get that sleep. Then a couple things just want to touch on here. Nutrient density, right? So
now we're getting into the weeds. Here we go.
So nutrient deficiency leads to overeating, right?
Ooh.
So if you're not getting or giving your body the nutrients that it needs, not only will you continue to be hungry, right? You'll just be like, oh, well, body's like sending these signals. It's like, oh, I need to eat more because obviously I didn't get what I needed. Yeah. So keep on eating more, right? But not only on top of that, but you will be pulling more nutrients out of your body to process that non-nutritious food that you ate, right? So it becomes like this vicious cycle that just leads to more and more overeating. So you can kind of see where we want to be aware of this and how we want to address this in the future. So with
so
you,
like, does this mean like eat your multivitamin, or like what do you?
So with you, right? Like you say, you're gonna skip lunch and eat dinner, right? So you know you have a big dinner coming up.
100%.
What I would say to you is let's take control over the meals that we can control, right? And make sure that they are great. So if you're gonna have a big dinner at the family's, make sure you're getting a very like nutrient dense breakfast. All right, may not be your honey nut Cheerios that you're used to, right? But like maybe we're actually throwing in some different types of vegetables in there. Make sure we're having different types of eggs, on this different types of superfoods that we can. And then that would be a good time if we're going to try to get in maybe different types of supplements there, so that we can get not only like you're going to hit macronutrients, right? But getting in the micronutrients and things that we might be missing in the diet if we're, enjoying ourselves at a party.
Would you say like, or would you suggest like sticking to like more green things then? Is that, do you think like what we're probably missing? Because like I said, I call this the sweet season. Like, would you suggest like having more spinach or kale or salads just in general? Is that, or like eating like whole vegetables or anything like that? Is there any like specific thing that you think would help with the like maybe like micronutrient deficiency that we're probably going to experience?
Yeah, so if you're getting into just really focusing on more whole foods, that's going to help a lot of those micronutrient deficiencies, because those whole foods aren't just one thing. They come with a lot of different things packed in there. So anytime you're getting like those dark leafy greens, you're going to get a hit of magnesium, which is going to be good. You're going to be needing that. You're going to be getting a lot of these different nutrients, or like minerals too as well. And like those, I mean, you could even get like some magnesium from like some almonds, right? So looking to whole foods and looking for less processed, try to make that a big part of your breakfast. Another good thing to focus on if you're trying to control your meal ahead of time, and maybe even make yourself a little bit more full so you don't want to eat as much of that stuff, is looking for things that are going to fill you up and give you that like and really help like your satiety, right? There's different hormones in your body that are affected.
Satiety?
Satiety. I think it's satiety.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. And things like that are going to help with that are really good sources of protein, lean meats, eggs, different things like that. Like, so if you have like a good source of fiber with your vegetables in the morning, along with a good source of lean meat, right? That's going to hold you over for quite a while, right? So maybe making sure that we get the good stuff in before we do the same thing as you with like the low calorie drinks, right? If you're still going to have those calorie drinks, maybe make sure we get in our water that we talked about in the previous podcast, right? Make sure we get the amount of water that we had for our goal in first before we move on to those drinks with the calories, right?
You mean that nopal cactus and marshmallow root and the calendula flower aren't micronutrients?
I didn't say that.
I was trying to find the most ridiculous ingredient I could find on there.
Marshmallow root is a new one for me.
Yeah, right? It says that though, right?
Yeah, it does.
Marshmallow root. That's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Sorry to derail.
No, you're all good. So yeah, just make sure that we can get our nutrients, in for the day. Make sure that we're not just eating all processed food and not having Pop-Tarts for breakfast and then going into these crazy like cookie exchanges, right? And like that's all we had to eat for the day.
Yeah.
Because
no one really likes these cookie exchanges.
I mean, that's just what you said. So I was like, I don't know what else there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just making sure that we're getting nutrients that our body needs, and your body will thank you. Last little thing here, I'm just going to put out there. You'll get this in a second.
Oh, no.
Is that in your house, don't have food sitting out. I mean, if you have guests over, so be it. But don't just leave it out there, because it's kind of like you see it and you're passing it and you'd be like, just pick one up, nibble on it a little bit, put like put it in the cabinets, put it in the fridge, put it out of sight, out of mind, because otherwise, if it's there, it's going to get eaten.
Yeah, this brings up another very funny conversation of having kids once again, because my son obviously leaves stuff out like all the time. It makes it very difficult to not just pick up that half-eaten chicken nugget and be like,
Well,
Chicken nuggets and ketchup.
so
Anyway,
half-eaten chicken nugget with a hair on it.
well, I mean, as long I don't eat the
Dropped
ones
it
that
on the ground.
yeah, well, that's
Wait,
the
you're
thing.
making it sound.
If he doesn't drop it on the ground, then they're just half eaten on his plate. Because typically, if he drops it on the ground, then the dog gets it. So
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
it's not. There's not too much left on our floors if that's what you're going for there. Fury's a good vacuum.
There you go.
But yeah, so I do agree that because I like just in general, I know what that's like from scenarios like that when he just like leaves stuff out and stuff like that, and you want to have like if the frozen chicken nuggets are in the fridge, I'm not going to go in there and make them. So
Right.
it's obviously out of sight, out of mind in that sense of not leaving like uh, one of the things that I actually did, you'll like this one, is that in my house we have like a chocolate basket basically.
Mhm.
So anybody who ever buys us like any type of like Halloween chocolate or candy or of anything
Just goes in the basket.
just goes in the basket.
Mhm.
And that basket used to sit on our dining room table.
Yeah.
And I found myself having a chocolate just about every night
Yeah.
because I see it
Yeah.
and I want it.
Yeah.
Then I moved it to the pantry. We have like a walk-in pantry, so like I moved it to our pantry.
And how often do you do it now?
And now I almost never do it. The
There you
only
go.
time I ever do it is when Archer says that he wants one and walks in there, which is not a very regular occurrence because he's not really ever really allowed in the pantry. So it's less like I said, it's a good example of out of sight, out of mind in that scenario there. Got it in the pantry. I don't see it. I don't eat it anymore.
Yeah. And actually I forgot. I was going to lead with this
Oh,
because we've been going over the fun answers, right? But the real and serious answer to this question is like, how do you strategize for the holiday season and eating all that? Is like really the number one answer is don't. like focus on the other 340 days in the year.
Yeah,
really, like
100%.
it's not like if this is the main focus, we're kind of missing the mark, right?
100%.
It's the consistency across every single day that's going to count, right? So you don't necessarily, if you're going to enjoy yourself, you should indulge. It's when we get into overindulging and then that kind of leading to a spiral that we get into a little iffy territory here.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Indulge, you should enjoy things, but don't overindulge and that kind of get into your mindset and like that spiral out of control.
Yeah.
But really, if you're focusing on your diet and you're consistent, you're going to be able to take a day off. You're going to be able to
100%.
miss a workout. You're going to be if you're got your exercise dialed in, you got your food dialed in, you'll be fine.
Yeah, 100%. That I agree so strongly with that. In that there are 350.
Yeah, I was like, actually, I was trying to be conservative. I don't know how many like exact holidays.
Like, but that's the whole thing. There are 350 other days where this should be a focus, right? Like nutrient density and quality of eating and whole foods and making sure that we're getting the right amount of macros. And like we can worry about that 350 days a year.
Yeah.
But for those 15, one of them being Christmas, it's wholeheartedly okay to let yourself indulge. What becomes then a problem, and one of my least favorite memes online is all of those memes that are talking about like the week between Christmas and New Year's like doesn't exist. You ever seen that? Where it's like, I don't know what day it is, everybody's on vacation, like I just want to sit on the couch and eat nachos and candy. Like that's probably more so the issue that I think that we're trying to get at here. Like Christmas is fine, indulge, have your snacks, have your food, but like don't let yourself go for 2 whole weeks just because we're like in the holiday sweet season, I guess is what I'm trying to get at there in between.
And then have like this really slow build back to try to get back to where you were. That takes even longer.
Yes.
But
that builds on
be intentional, be aware.
Exactly. That builds it exactly what I was going to roll it into is that the awareness here is, I think, what we're trying to talk about. We want to be aware that we are letting this day go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Christmas, we're letting that day go, or New Year's, we're letting that day go. But January 3rd, we're back on the right schedule, or December
back in the routine.
Exactly. December 28th, we're back in the right schedule. Like the routine is good again because we've stuck to that routine. That's the routine that we've had for the entire rest of the year. That's what makes us feel good. That's why that meme of like the week between Thanksgiving or the week between Christmas and New Year's like not existing and like not feeling good, and the reason why that happens is because we get out of routine.
Yeah.
So the entire point is enjoy what you want to enjoy on Christmas. Have a good holiday with your family. Eat the pumpkin pie or whatever else that your family makes. Apple pie with vanilla ice cream. Who knows? But then after that day is over, be aware that you want to get back into your routine to feel good again. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I think that about does it.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Look at that.